History. Introduction. Taj Mahal, a sight to behold. The only thing that crosses my mind while gazing at this mystical structure are the words echoed by the British painter William Hodges, which are as follows. It appears like a perfect pearl on an azure ground. The effect is such I have never experienced from any work of art. Just as the Taj Mahal, there exists many other fascinating architectural marvels not only in India but throughout the world. Individuals from all walks of life make it a point at least once in their lifetime to visit these living testimonies of legendary antiquity. Every year, people flock in thousands and at times millions to witness these splendid structures in all its glory. Eventually, these monuments would be provided protection under various governmental agencies that demanded a specific amount of tariff from tourists for the maintenance and, at times, remodification of the very same. All these factors eventually gave birth to the business of tourism. However, the aforementioned development was drastically different during the medieval and ancient periods, not only in the Indian subcontinent but throughout the globe. On this note, let us find out more on this business that flourished during the ancient period, particularly in the Indian subcontinent. Tourism in the past. The tradition of traveling in the Indian subcontinent was age-old. People often undertook traveling for various reasons, namely pilgrimage, visiting local fairs and attending various festivals, departing in quest of serving a spiritual guru and begetting good education from him, trade purposes, etc. Thus, in a nutshell, people took pleasure in traveling since ancient times. Buddhist literature tells us that following Gautam Buddha's enlightenment, he traveled to several cities and villages in ancient India in order to preach his teachings, which was known as the Dhamma or Dharma, that is, cosmic law and order. Furthermore, Buddhist monks, that is, bhikkhus or bhikshus, and nuns, that is, bhikkhunis or bhikshunis, were admonished from staying at one place and instead were encouraged to keep traveling on a continuous basis in order to spread the word of the Buddha. Similarly, Jain monks or munis and nuns or aryakas or sadhvis, Hindu ascetics or sadhus, etc., were constantly on the move. During the early medieval period of India, various bhakti saints such as Sant Namdev, Sant Eknath, Guru Nanak, Sant Ramdas Swami, etc. travelled far and wide to preach the virtues of love and devotion towards God. The late ancient early medieval period also witnessed a number of foreign travelers visit India, beginning with Chinese Buddhist monks such as Fa Xian or Fa Hein, Xuanzang, Yi Jing or I Ching, who visited the subcontinent during the period of circa 630 CE. The following are a few foreign travelers who had also visited India during the medieval time period. Benjamin of Tudela, 1130 CE to 1173 CE. Widely considered to be the first European traveler-discoverer, Benjamin was born in the town of Tudela in Spain. Between 1159 to 1173 CE, he traveled to France, Germany, Italy, Greece, Syria, Arabia, Egypt, Iraq, Persia, India, and China. He maintained diaries of the accounts of his travels, the chief among them being the Travels of Benjamin, or the Book of Travels, which was viewed as an important historical document. Marco Polo, 1254 CE to 1324 CE. This 13th century Italian traveler-explorer made the continent of Asia, particularly China, where he stayed for 17 years, familiar to the Europeans. In his account, titled Book of the Marvels of the World, also known as The Travels of Marco Polo 1300, he had written about the flora and fauna, social life, culture, and trade systems of Asia. Ibn Battuta, 1304 CE to 1368-69 CE. This 14th century Moroccan scholar-traveler, with the aid of his travel accounts, took readers on a virtual tour of the medieval Islamic world. He traveled for almost 30 years and had resolved not to travel down the same route twice. In his account, titled A Gift to Those Who Contemplate the Wonders of Cities and the Marvels of Traveling, or simply The Travels, or Rehla, he had painted a vivid picture of prevalent medieval civilization throughout the globe. Gerardus Mercator, 1512 CE to 1594 CE. This 16th century cartographer, geographer and cosmographer was known for creating a rudimentary world map, which would eventually become the forerunner of its modern version, along with Globes of the Earth. His map, titled New and More Complete Representation of the Terrestrial Globe Properly Adapted for Use in Navigation, or the Mercator World Map of 1569, proved to be very useful for later explorers. Tourism. Merriam-Webster's dictionary defined the term tourism as the practice of traveling to visit places in distant regions for recreation or a specific purpose. During the latter half of the 19th century CE, the name of Thomas Cook, 1808 to 1892, is noteworthy in the context of tourism history, as he had organized a trip for a group of 600 temperance campaigners by rail from Leicester to Loughborough in England. Later, he was successful in organizing a round trip of Europe, touching countries such as Switzerland, Italy, Egypt, and later the United States. Eventually, he established a travel agency that sold tourist tickets. This early venture of Thomas Cook opened doors for the development of modern tourism. As mentioned earlier, the tradition of traveling from one corner to the other was prevalent in India since ancient period. During the rule of the British East India Company, Vishnu Bhatt Godse, a 19th century Indian traveler, wrote down accounts of his journey from his home village of Pen in present-day Maharashtra to Ayodhya and back again in a travelogue entitled Maza Pravas, or My Journey. Godse travelled during the outbreak of the Indian Rebellion of 1857 CE. He witnessed firsthand many of the events related to this historical conflict. His accounts are full of detailed descriptions about various incidences during this period, especially those related to the life of Lakshmi Bai, the Rani of Jhansi. Through this account, we also gain knowledge of the lingual structure of Marathi language during the 18th century CE. Godse's work also serves as an important means of understanding the history of that time period. Types of tourism. Tourism these days has emerged as an independent field of local, interstate, national, and international business. tourism received a boost due to factors such as people's desire to visit national and international monuments, places of historical importance and natural beauty, ancient centers known for handicrafts, pilgrim centers, industrial centers, and sites of various developmental projects, etc. Tourists from all over the world visited natural and man-made sites, which offered them a delightful, memorable, and awe-inspiring experience. Previously overlooked regions such as snow-capped peaks, beaches, pristine jungles, etc. slowly began to emerge as important tourist attractions. Special audio-visual presentations which broadcasted mass media and highlighted places of tourist interest were made available. Taking into consideration all the aforementioned factors, tourism could safely be broadly categorized as local and interstate tourism, international tourism, religious tourism, historical tourism, health tourism, science tourism, agro-tourism, sports tourism, tourism based on special events, etc. Local and interstate tourism. This kind of tourism is not very overwhelming because it takes place within a particular country's territorial boundaries. Furthermore, it does not cause roadblocks that were usually associated with international tourism, such as knowledge of language, procurement of currency, and other related documents. Moreover, in this kind of tourism, an individual can plan his or her visit at a time suitable to him or her, or when he or she sees fit. International tourism. In this day and age, it has become easier to travel across the globe due to the convenience offered by different modes of transportation, such as rail, air, etc. Marine transport linked various coastal regions in existence across the globe. There is a trans-European railway route that linked various important European cities such as Paris, Berlin, London, Rome, etc. Aviation brought the entire world closer than ever before. Due to the implementation of a liberalized economic policy by the Indian government during the early 1990s, a large number of people traveled back and forth from India at a considerable rate. The purpose of their visit included traveling for studies, relaxation, sightseeing, professional assignments or meetings, agreements, etc., filming movies, etc. For the purpose of traveling abroad, one needs to procure various official documents such as passport, visa, or a permit to enter and leave a country, travel insurance, foreign currency, air ticket, etc. to ensure a smooth, safe, and hassle-free journey. Historical tourism. This is the most popular type of tourism all around the world. Tours to historical places are arranged in order to satisfy an individual's interest in history. In this context, one needs to make a special mention of Gopal Nilkant Dandekar, a Marathi writer who used to arrange hiking tours to several forts in Maharashtra in order to explore the sites that were closely linked to Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj and his achievements. Tours were also arranged to visit important historical sites such as the hill forts of Rajasthan, ashrams or religious hermitages of Mahatma Gandhi and Acharya Vinoba Bhave, important places related to the Indian Rebellion of 1857, etc. Though nowadays people belonging from various religious communities are dispersed throughout the globe, a sense of unity tacitly remained between them due to their mythological traditions and places associated with the very same. Eventually, this created an individual's desire to travel to those places, which gave rise to religious tourism. In this context, many temple constructions were helmed by Ahilyabai Holkar, who spent it from her personal funds with the objective of providing facilities on pilgrim routes such as the Char Dham Yatras and 12 Jyotirlingas. Geographic tourism. This type of tourism involved visiting places to observe special geographic features of a region, which included various natural and animal sanctuaries, places such as the Valley of Flowers National Park, Uttarakhand, various beaches, unique geographical wonders like the crater lake at Lonar in Buldhana district of Maharashtra and Ranjan Khalage, naturally carved out cavities in rocks at Nighoj in Maharashtra. Many tourists and aspiring geographers visited these places to satisfy their intellectual curiosity. Health tourism. Usually, people from Western countries found health services and facilities available in India to be comparatively cheaper and yet of good standard. Hence, this is one of the reasons why foreigners visit India. Besides this, foreign tourists that hailed from countries with cold climates enjoyed visiting India due to the climate here being tropical, that is, characterized by ample sunlight available throughout the year. Availability of facilities for yoga training and various therapies based on the ancient Indian medical discipline of Ayurveda is another reason for a recent spike in foreign tourism in India. Agro-tourism. Agro-tourism, also known by the term agri-tourism, is a rapidly developing trend, especially amongst the urban population who have very little exposure to rural life and agriculture. Also, in this day and age, Indian farmers are able to visit faraway places such as agricultural research centers, agricultural universities. They're also fortunate enough to possess the resources required to travel to foreign countries such as Israel, where experimentation in advanced agricultural technology is carried out on an extensive scale. Sports tourism. Sports tourism as a lucrative form of business emerged during the 20th century CE. There are a number of sporting events organized at international levels such as the Olympics, Wimbledon, World Chess Championship, numerous international cricket tournaments such as the ICC Cricket World Cup, T20 World Cup, ICC Champions Trophy, Ashes Series, etc. While events such as the Himalayan Car Rally are organized at national levels, there are others such as, for instance, the Maharashtra Kesari Wrestling competitions that are organized at state levels. Traveling in order to attend such events falls under the category of sports tourism. Tourism based on special events. People generally tend to have a strong desire to travel, and in that regard are always on the lookout for different reasons to undertake a tour. During the 21st century CE, it was common to organize special events in order to help promote tourism. Film festivals, various types of seminars and conferences, international book exhibitions, etc. are a few examples of such special events. At times, people kept visiting several places to attend such special events. For instance, many literary enthusiasts in Maharashtra travel annually to attend the Akhil Bharatiya Marathi Sahitya Sammelan or Pan-India Marathi Literary Convention. Apart from the aforementioned types of tourism, there are other types such as religious tourism, science tourism, leisure and relaxation tourism, also known as wellness tourism, cultural tourism, group tourism, etc., to name a few. 1. Science tourism. This type of tourism involved visiting or exploring scientific landmarks which included museums, laboratories, observatories, and universities. 2. Leisure or relaxation or wellness tourism. This type of tourism involved traveling for the purpose of promoting health and well-being through physical, psychological, or spiritual activities. 3. Cultural tourism. This type of tourism included activities such as visiting educational institutes of repute, of repute, trying to get a glimpse of local culture, historical traditions, and visiting historical monuments of a particular place, trying to appreciate the achievements of local people and also participating in the local festivals of dance, music, etc. Development of tourism. A crucial issue related to the development of tourism involved providing proper guidance to national and international tourists on various aspects of travel, such as, for instance, proper social conduct to be observed during the tour and during their stay at various destinations. In order to successfully promote tourism, priority was given to ensure safe transport and security facilities for tourists, amenities of reasonably good standards, availability of good accommodations, good washroom facilities on travel routes, etc. It was also very essential to pay attention to the special needs of handicapped tourists. It is important to take a few primary precautions while preserving various historical heritage sites. Furthermore, it was essential that few things should be avoided at any cost. For instance, vandalizing or defacing heritage monuments and sites. In this regard, visitors were refrained from writing on walls or carving on trees, painting ancient monuments in garish colors, etc. The tourists were though permitted to make a note of the lack of availability of good amenities in the precincts of heritage sites, which caused filthiness. It was essential that pamphlets, guides, and history books about a particular tourist site be made available in various languages for tourists. Furthermore, it was beneficial if taxi drivers were trained to converse in more than one language, whilst doubling as tourist guides as well. Another important but often overlooked step that needed to be taken in the development of tourism was cleanliness. Although school-going children have been constantly made familiar with the proverb, cleanliness is next to godliness. This mindset has been difficult to apply in real-life scenarios. However, a number of cleanliness drives were undertaken by various non-governmental organizations or NGOs on issues such as waste management, which would help conserve the environment. However, let us turn our attention towards the recently launched cleanliness drive by the Government of India, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan or Clean India Mission. This campaign, launched on 2nd October 2014 CE at Rajghat, New Delhi, under the auspices of the 16th Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, aimed to clean up the streets, roads and infrastructure of India's cities, smaller towns, semi-urban and rural areas. Furthermore, it aimed to achieve an ODF, or Open Defecation Free India, by 2nd October 2019 CE, which coincided with the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi, by constructing 90 million toilets in rural India at a projected cost of rupees 1.96 lakh crore, or US dollars 30 billion. It is the largest ever cleanliness drive undertaken in India, with 3 million government employees, school students and college students from all parts of the country participating in 4,041 statutory cities, towns and associated rural areas. They were known as Swachhagrahis, or ambassadors of cleanliness. This mission, or Abhiyan, was further categorized under 2 sub-missions: Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Gramin or rural, which functioned under the Ministry of Drinking Water and Sanitation, and Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, Urban, which functioned under the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Now, let us have a look at the various cultural, natural and mixed heritage sites. As proclaimed by the UNESCO, or United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, spread across the Indian subcontinent. Cultural heritage sites of India: Agra Fort, Uttar Pradesh, 1983. Ajanta Caves, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, 1983. Verul or Ellora Caves, Aurangabad, Maharashtra, 1983. Taj Mahal, Agra, Uttar Pradesh, 1983. Group of monuments at Mahabalipuram, Tamil Nadu, 1984. Konark Sun Temple, Puri, Odisha, 1984. Churches and Convents of Goa, 1986. Fatehpur Sikri, or the City of Victory, Agra, Uttar Pradesh, 1986. Group of monuments at Hampi, Karnataka, 1986. Khajuraho Group of Monuments, Madhya Pradesh, 1986. Elephanta or Gharapuri Caves, Elephanta Island, Maharashtra, 1987. Great Living Chola Temples, Tamil Nadu, 1987. Shiva Temple at Gangaikonda Cholapuram, Brihadeshwara Temple at Tanjavur and Airavateshwara Temple at Darasuram, Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu, 2004. Group of monuments at Pattadakal, Karnataka, 1987. Buddhist monuments at Sanchi, Madhya Pradesh, 1989. Humayun's Tomb, Delhi, 1993. Qutub Minar and its monuments, Delhi, 1993. Mountain Railways of India, 1999, namely 1. Darjeeling Himalayan Railway, popularly known as Toy Train, West Bengal. 2. Nilgiri Mountain Railway, Tamil Nadu. 3. Kalka Shimla Railway, Himachal Pradesh. Mahabodhi Temple Complex at Bodh Gaya, Bihar, 2002. Rock Shelters of Bhimbetka, Madhya Pradesh, 2003. Champaner Pavagadh Archaeological Park, Gujarat, 2004. Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Terminus or CST, Mumbai, Maharashtra, 2004. Red Fort Complex, Delhi, 2007. Jantar Mantar, Jaipur, Rajasthan, 2010. Hill Forts of Rajasthan, 2013. Rani Ki Vav or the Queen's Stepwell at Patan, Gujarat, 2014. Archaeological sites of Nalanda Mahavihara or Nalanda University at Nalanda, Bihar, 2016. The Capitol Complex at Chandigarh, 2016. The historic city of Ahmedabad or Old Ahmedabad, Gujarat, 2017. Natural Heritage Sites of India. Kaziranga National Park, Assam, 1985. Kyoladeo National Park, Rajasthan, 1985. Manas National Park or Manas Wildlife Sanctuary, Assam, 1985. Nanda Devi and Valley of Flowers National Parks, Uttarakhand, 1988 and 2005 respectively. Sundarbans National Park, West Bengal, 1987. Western Ghats, which runs through 6 states of Gujarat, Maharashtra, Goa, Karnataka, Kerala and Tamil Nadu, 2012. The Khas Plateau, also known as the Khas Pathar or Khas Sadas, Satara District, Maharashtra, 2012. Great Himalayan National Park Conservation Area, Himachal Pradesh, 2014. Mixed Heritage Site of India, Kanchenjunga National Park or KNP, Sikkim, 2016. Conservation and preservation of heritage. It is an arduous task to preserve and conserve heritage sites in our country that was brimming with historical monuments dating to ancient, medieval and modern periods respectively. Furthermore, India was fortunate enough to be blessed with abundance of nature. Heritage of any country was ideally divided into the categories of natural and cultural or man-made. There are some heritage sites in India which are globally acclaimed, such as the Taj Mahal at Agra, the Jantar Mantar Observatory at Jaipur, the rock-cut caves at Ajanta, Verul, Ellora and Gharapuri or Elephanta, Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Railway Terminus in Maharashtra, etc. Khas Plateau or Khas Pathar, located in the Western Ghats in Maharashtra, was accredited as a World Natural Heritage Site. There are tourists all over the world who visited different World Heritage Sites every year. In the same manner, foreign tourists flocked India in large numbers to visit numerous heritage sites. We experience an immense sense of pride when a historical site in our country is declared as a World Heritage Site. However, on our visit to such places, we are disappointed at what we witness over there. We get to see in which manner people have desecrated and defaced these heritage sites by writing their names with charcoal, drawing pictures, doodling gibberish stuff, thereby vandalizing them in the process. All these dishonorable actions have an adverse effect on our image as a progressive nation. In order to preserve these heritage sites, we need to resolve that 1. I shall strive to maintain the cleanliness of heritage sites. 2. I shall not do anything which would result in the vandalism of any historical site. Heritage walks. Touring historical places was known as Heritage Walk, and one could experience the thrill of being part of history by participating in the very same. Heritage Walks as an organized group activity gained popularity in many countries. We all are well aware about India's rich and glorious history, which could be traced back to many millennia. Every region in India was brimming with historical places belonging from the ancient, medieval and modern periods respectively. The Heritage Walk, organized in the city of Ahmedabad, is well known, while in the cities of Mumbai and Pune in Maharashtra, such walks were organized on a regular basis. Heritage walks encouraged people to support projects such as conservation and preservation of historical monuments, compilation of authentic information about them, and its publication through various media platforms. Residences of deceased renowned citizens were also considered as being part of heritage. In some cities, blue plaques with the names and other relevant information of such citizens were placed on their residences as a part of the heritage scheme. Professional opportunities in the tourism and hospitality industry. Tourism and hospitality are two industries which had untold potential to create maximum employment opportunities. If managed in a professional manner, it could be established as a stable industry. Furthermore, it had tremendous scope for experimentation and innovation. As a result, a number of employment opportunities were available in the aforementioned industries. A country which doubled as a tourist destination would receive revenue even before a particular tourist or tourist's airplane would enter that country's airspace. A tourist was required to pay for his or her visa. Furthermore, he or she was supposed to pay for his or her travel, hotel accommodation, food, interpreters and guides, newspapers, reference books, souvenirs, etc. All these immensely contributed to the growth of economy of that country. Marketplaces located in the vicinity of a tourist center also aided in its growth and development. Consequently, it resulted in the development of local handicrafts and cottage industries, which in turn led to an increase in demand for locally processed food items and ethnic handicrafts. Profound changes in the aforementioned field resulted in better income for local artisans, businessmen and wage earners. Development of tourism in Maharashtra. The state of Maharashtra is blessed with a rich heritage. The much admired rock-cut caves, paintings and sculptures of Ajanta, Verul or Ellora and Gharapuri or Elephanta, pilgrim centers such as Dehu, Alandi, Jejuri, Pandharpur, Shirdi, Shegaon, Tuljapur, Kolhapur, Nashik, Trimbakeshwar, Pathan, Haji Malang, Gurdwara at Nanded, Mount Mary Church in Mumbai, etc. Hill stations such as Mahabaleshwar, Panchgani, Khandala, Lonavla, Mathiran, Chikhaldara, etc. Dams at Koinanagar, Jaikwari, Bhatghar, Chandoli, etc. and wildlife sanctuaries at Dajipur, Sagareshwar, Tadoba, etc. are among the important tourist centers in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra Tourism Development Corporation or MTDC was set up in 1975 CE. It helped in the development of tourism in Maharashtra. The MTDC had provided facilities of hotel accommodations to tourists at 47 different locations across the state of Maharashtra. Together, these hotels could accommodate more than 4,000 tourists. Many private entrepreneurs are also undertaking several measures for providing hospitality services to tourists. An unusual village of books. Bhela, a village near Mahabaleshwar in Maharashtra, boasts of breathtaking natural beauty and lip-smacking sweetness of organically cultivated strawberries. It is also known as the village of books, since every household in this village maintained a small library of its own for the tourists. The Maharashtra state government had implemented this scheme in order to accelerate the reading culture movement so that tourists and visiting scholars would cherish the beauty of Marathi literature that was enriched by the works of old and new authors, saints, etc., which included various types of texts such as biographies, autobiographies, fiction, poetry, literature by women, literature on sports, literature for kids, etc. Mahabaleshwar and Panchgani are two popular hill stations situated in Satara district of Maharashtra. Thousands of tourists visit these hill stations throughout the year. Tourist guides stationed here accompany and provide relevant information to the tourists on various sightseeing tours at these places, such as the Fort of Pratapgarh, Mahabaleshwar Mandir or Temple, Mapro Garden, Elephant's Head Point, also known as Needle Hole Point, Sunset Point, Connaught's Peak, Vena Lake, Lingamala waterfalls, etc., to name a few. At some places, photographers who were present would click pictures for tourists. Horse keepers provided horses for horseback and horse cart rides. Tourism in these two hill stations largely prevailed due to the diligent efforts of the locals who were constantly engaged in these activities in order to earn good money for their services. In short, tourism becomes a major source of their livelihood. Conclusion. Thus, in our session today, we witnessed the impact that movement of man from one place to another, which we know today as tourism, has had on shaping the course of human history. While during prehistoric period, man moved from one place to another in search of food and shelter, through the passage of time, man would do so not only to fulfill the aforementioned needs, but to establish his mastery over fellow species by conquering lands, which eventually led to the establishment of large empires that spread across different parts of the globe. Many of their exploits were later discovered in the form of various documents and artifacts that were placed in museums and archives around the world. In our next session, we will focus our study on the conservation and preservation of these aforementioned documents and artifacts, which would soon be known as historical sources, and also take a look at some of the famous museums and archives as well. Their study is categorized under the umbrella term Heritage Management.
क्या चालू था टॉप स्क्रोल शो टॉप स्क्रोल शो टॉप स्क्रोल दिखाने का
history. Introduction. Taj Mahal, a sight to behold. The only thing that crosses my mind while gazing at this mystical structure are the words echoed by the British painter William Hodges, which are